success. I just wanna be the best that I could ever be, just the very best for me. And now I know I'm blessed when I'm looking at my kid. Just wait until you see.
What's up, guys? Moulden Boy back at it again. I'm here today working on the Gsxr. I figured I'd put a little content up on my page, maybe let everybody know the story behind this bike. I've been working on this bike for probably the last 3 months or so, trying to get it ready to ride and repair everything that had happened. The situation with it is it was stolen around 3 years ago. I'd gotten off work one night when I was working third shift, came home where it had been sitting outside and it was gone. My wife had called me while I was at work, told me that she had came home and didn't see the bike, and that it had been stolen. So, which was a terrible situation for me because I was actually at work. So it was really hard to just try to make up an excuse to leave when it's third shift. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. There's literally nobody to come and replace me. So I had to just kind of suck it up and close the store down. I went home, called the police after realizing that it really was gone, made a report. Obviously, I knew when I did that there wasn't going to be much coming from it, but yeah, just in case, I guess you would say. But I did end up getting it back after so long, and I actually found it on Facebook in another state. After I was able to verify the VIN numbers with the guy, he was actually really cool about it. Told me that I could get the bike whenever, but I knew that this wasn't the actual individual that had stolen the bike. It sounds funny, but I feel like it was somebody local that I might even known. But he was real super cool about it. I guess dude was like an old former cop or bounty hunter or something along the lines of. So he was super honest, and I'm very appreciative for that guy. And instead of going and picking it up myself, I actually had the guy haul it to me, and I paid him and gave him a few little knickknacks and stuff like that. Nothing too special, but for me to get my motorcycle back to me, it was not even close to enough. So, which my wife still calls me stupid every single day for, but
Stupid ass.
But yeah, when I got it back, super sketchy, super messed up. Tires were popped, rims were bent, parts were missing, bolts were loose. Everything was just trashed. I mean, trashed by probably not even worth the amount of money I gave him to deliver it. But for me personally, it was well worth it. But after a few months of working on it, myself, a couple of friends of mine coming through clutch and helping a brother out, which I'm super appreciative for too, guys. You know who you are. We finally got it back to a clean edition, and then it got to the point to where after spending, over $1,000, $1,200, where we couldn't figure out why it wasn't running. When the guy dropped it off, he actually said it was running, but he was in the midst of taking it off and actually putting his motor on a shifter car for his son, which I don't know how true that is, and I don't really care, but couldn't figure it out. Had replaced literally everything I could think of. I'd spent every dollar I was making at the time. Which is pretty hard for me because I have 2 kids. I have an old lady. She's a stay-at-home mom. So I am the supporter. My dollar does do the most. So it's kind of hard to just spend money on stuff when you don't really have the money to spend. But I guess I could show you the bike and just try to explain the little things that I have done, because after we couldn't figure out why it was running, I ended up taking it to a shop, which I'm super grateful for. The guy didn't charge me a whole lot of money. He figured it out really quickly. But when I got the bike back, there was some stuff missing off the bike that I'm going to have to reorder now and put back on the bike. So, alright, so here's the bike. It's a 06 Gsxr 600. It has approximately 28,000 miles, which I know is a whole lot for a motorcycle, but with everything on it, like I said, I'd had a lot of fun on it when I originally had it. When I originally had it, the fairings were blue and white, all-star fairings. I went through a lot of trouble to get those fairings. I paid a pretty good price for it, but wasn't anything out of the blue, I feel like. But this is her. Now, to tell you everything I replaced, and I would love to post pictures and stuff like this of what the bike looked like when I first got it back and everything. And if I figure out how to, I can. If you guys want to visit my Facebook at Preston Charles Moulden, or my Instagram, all those are actually in or posted, I guess you would say, on those pages. And but this has been one extreme project for me. It's been months and months in the working, and it wasn't something that I originally planned on spending so much time on. But like I said, it was more of a project, and I was super happy to get it back. But I guess we'll just kick it off. I actually replaced the fairings, full fairing set, which was god awful to put on, but yeah, it is what it is. I actually ended up replacing grips and levers, which I'm actually in the midst of replacing newer grips as we speak. I just figured I'd go over it. Now I do need a new cluster, maybe a cluster bolt, because the gauge just happens to not work as well. I do get the RPMs, but the gauge doesn't work as well as I'd like it to. I did install these tank pads. Shout out to Straight 805 Speed, because I seen them on his tank. I see how good they looked, and I just had to have them. I do have the rear seat for anybody wondering. The funny part about these signal lights is these are really crappy.
Nigga,
I don't know if
what?
you guys can see where somebody was trying to super glue. The other side doesn't look too bad, but this one was trying to be super glued. So I actually went and ordered a new set. Fresh oil change. Let's see, 2 CT2 Pilot Power Michelin tires, which is a funny story. I actually had ordered 2 tires originally with everything else that I had ordered, and they were just some Voss store tires. And I got them because I had already spent a really big amount of money at one time. But that's basically why I bought them. And when I got them, I put them on, and as you guys can see, I'll show you real quick. I have my own bead breaker, and then I have these little sections of carpet that I use when I work on stuff. My bead breaker goes to prove that I put them on myself. And well, I can show you something else that makes you know that it didn't work out too well for me the first time. This is actually the wheel I'd taken off of it that was bent, but it's all scratched and scuffed and everything else from my little test run, which is funny because I worked at a tire shop at the time, but it's a lot different without a machine to help you. So I did replace the windscreen. I ordered 2 boxes of these fairing bolts that actually go around the entire motorcycle and fasten everything on the bike except for like mechanical bolts. And I'd actually taken those 2 boxes to the mechanic with me. It just so happens that I did not get those boxes back when I picked the bike back up. So that is one of the things that I lost out on. Exhaust. The exhaust that is on it is actually the exhaust that was on it when it had gotten stolen. But after it had been soaked through much stuff, it actually has holes in it now. It sounds terrible. It does have a mean little backfire to it, but I did go out on a limb and I ordered a brand new M4. I'm just waiting on my mid pipe to arrive so I can install it. I would use the one on here, but it is actually welded to the tip.
You see what I did there?
New battery, new footrest. Actually had to go out and order a new swing arm pivot bolt just to get the nut off of it, which I thought was super funny that somebody just needed the nut off of it. But
Got him.
let's see, new LED headlight, the new windscreen. I do have the mirrors. I'm just not a mirror kind of person. I have ordered a new tank top. I guess you'd call it a fuel cap. And I'm just waiting on it to arrive now because this one's kind of rough. If I had the key, I'd go ahead and show you. It's actually broken in the lever back here. And when you actually open it and take it off, it actually comes all the way off. So it's kind of just useless. I just ordered a press and turn. The other thing is the lock is missing, of course. You can obviously tell that it's been stolen. But new stator casing, new rectifier, new clutch cable, new clutch arm, newer chain, new brakes, pinch bolts. That is one funny story that I might tell in another video later on. But needless to say, I need another pinch bolt because one is missing now. I did have to do something with the back as far as putting on a caliper bracket. And I actually had the mechanic do that because something was wrong when I had actually done it. I don't do a whole lot of bike work, so it was more something that I felt safe for him to do. So I let him bang it out, and now for some reason my brakes smoke harder than I do, and it's just a shot in the dirt. And then let's see, I actually do need fork seals. I've seen a little bit of leakage from the forks themselves. So I know I do need fork seals, but other than that, still waiting on some parts, still venturing to see how far I can take it. I posted it for trade a couple times just to see what I could get offered on it, put a little price on it, but in the back of my mind I know I'm more than likely not going to get rid of it. So it's one of those situations where it's more memorable to me and it makes me not want to get rid of it. Just like my trucks, like I'm a big truck fanatic. I got my big 86 Scottsdale outside lifted that my father had actually owned for about 20 something odd years. And finally it passed it down to me. Big super up to pops. It's got a 1-ton rear end, 3/4 ton front end, 350 with the Vortex heads in it. It's got some slight damage on it as far as rust over the years, but you can't beat free and you can't beat a childhood memory. I actually learned how to drive in that car, or I should say truck.
This nigga
and
smoking
it's
that
actually
good
a
shit.
4-speed Bulldog transmission, so you can just imagine for your first time ever driving, that being what you're driving. Through life, you're not going to have too many worries because there's not going to be a whole lot that's going to match that. So, but yeah, I just figured I'd give you guys an update on my life and what I was actually currently doing. I actually got a better job, so I'm making better money, which allows me to do more things for content and for myself as far as personal projects. There's a lot of stuff that I'd love to dive into. I'm actually been working on my wife's car too, which is a Dodge Journey. If anybody knows Dodge Journey, they know that they can be problems. And they've been nothing but problems since I bought it. But she loves it, and I'll continue to fix it as much as I can. And the more I do and update the motorcycle and stuff like that, I'll try to keep you guys posted on content. I'm actually working on getting my helmet camera so I can get footage of riding and stuff like that and start getting up with the guys again and riding around locally and getting you guys involved in some of the processes and some of this fun stuff that we do around town. So thank you guys for watching. Stay posted, and I'm going to definitely make it fun and a cool experience. Thank you guys.
I just wanna be the best, and I could ever be just the very best of me.